what is the role of confidence and self-belief in all of this? Because in order to reach and really get outside your comfort zone, so to speak, you do need to believe in yourself. And that is a through line I'm seeing in your story. You did not care. You just put yourself out there and you were willing to take a risk. That's something that you have to work on inside, because a lot of people who are listening, they're like, well, we're afraid of looking stupid, or we're afraid of failing, we're afraid of whatever, XYZ. So what do you have to say to people like that who are afraid of falling flat on their face?
Well, it's a big component of what I teach to my college students, and I'm sure it is for Dr. Rob as well. Many of my students are too cautious and too concerned that they're going to upset somebody, that they're going to cause someone to rethink what they might be thinking. They don't want to challenge authority. And I'll say to them, if you do it the right way and you question the way something's done or ask for a privilege that you may not be sure you're entitled to, what's the worst that'll happen? You won't get it. And most of the time, you probably won't get it. But every time you do, you've helped yourself, you've helped the person you're working with, you may have helped the company, you may have helped the world. I mean, holding back, unless you do it wrongly, I don't think is the way to achieve advancement and success. I think you have to believe in your ideas, not to the extent that you're going to, have a creative argument with somebody who doesn't agree with you or doesn't like your idea. Okay, it's an idea. It's subjective. Okay, yeah. I love it. You don't love it. I pitched a show one time, and I had talent with me. It was a talent-driven show, reality show, and 5 minutes into the pitch, the guy I was pitching to at a broadcast network, he said, "I need to stop you. We would never do this show here." Okay? Now, was he being honest and forthright and saving the time I was probably wasting from his day? Yes. Mm-hmm. Did he have the right to react that way? Absolutely. That's his job. Did he have to say it that way? No.
He sounds like Simon Cowell.
Old Simon Cowell.
Old Simon Cowell.
New Simon Cowell's a lot gentler.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting next to the talent, and I'm now embarrassed. I'm devastated, and I left because he told me to leave, basically. And outside the door, I spoke to the talent, and I said, "I'm so sorry. I feel horrible. I'm sorry I ever got you involved in this project. We should just let it go." She said, "No." She said, "I'm cleaning this up for the room. To heck with him." Okay, it wasn't heck. Let's go sell this somewhere else. He's not good enough to buy this show. Okay. And I had another boss who I work with at a company, and he interrupted somebody's pitch just like that, even worse than that. And I was part of his team, and I was in the room taking notes on this pitch, and he stopped this guy a few minutes in. He says, I'm sorry, I have to stop you. This is one of the worst ideas I've ever heard. I go, whoa. How do you talk to somebody? How do you talk to anybody like that? Nonetheless, in a perceived creative environment at a major studio, and the guy he just fell apart. And he left in shame, and I know I said something to my boss. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I probably said something along the lines of, maybe that was a little harsh. It was a little over the top. And he says, well, you got to be honest with people. So fast forward, okay, there's a reason I'm telling you this. A few months later, this guy, my boss, gets fired. Not sure exactly why. But let's just say he hadn't made a lot of friends in Hollywood. And he had been a bully to many, many, many people. Not as bad as what he said to that one guy that day. But I had overheard some of his phone conversations. He was in the office next to me. And he was rude, he was demanding, he was dismissive. He really couldn't care less about his relationships. And if anybody knows anything about this town, it's all about relationships.
Right.
And you could be great at your work and you could be horrible at your work. But if you have strong relationships, you have a much better chance of having a career in Hollywood than if you don't care about that. And he didn't care about that.
Yeah.
So
and empathy, right? You need a certain degree of empathy when you're...
None. He had none.
He had none, clearly.
So
yeah.
He gets fired.
Yeah.
And it's his last day. It's Friday. And it's like 5:30. And he's like sending out memos and typing. And I'm like, you're going to work here another half hour. And he's like, oh, I got to get this done. I got to send them. I'm like, what are you doing? And he said, come here. And he closed the door and he said, I got to ask you a question. Everybody in this town seems to like you. And even though you're a junior guy, you have a great reputation and people want to work with you. And I don't feel the same about me. I don't feel people like me. What did I do wrong?
Wow.
Okay, so he's asking me for therapy.
And he's older than you?
Yeah, about 10 years older.
10 years.
Not
considered.
much, he was in, I think I was, I'm not going to give the year because then people know where I'm talking about. I was in my early 30s, so he was about 40, young 40s.
Okay.
45 maybe at the most. He said, what did I do wrong? I said, this is 5:30 on a Friday on his last day. I said, you never nurtured your relationships. You took them for granted, and you thought the chair you sat in defined you. And it's not you that had the power that you thought you had. It's the chair you sat in. And on Monday, somebody else is going to sit in that chair, and they're going to have that power that you abused. And what's at stake for me? He can't fire me in his last half hour, so I let him have it.
Well, he asked you.
He asked me, and I was as gentle as I could be, but I was so upset that he had destroyed his career, and he had to leave town. He couldn't get anybody to return his phone call because he was rude to people.
Yeah.
And left town and hasn't come back.
Do you know what he's doing now?
He's found other industry-related jobs.
Okay.
I don't want to give too many clues.
No, that's fine. Just want to know.
But
an update.
he knows who he is.
Okay.
But that moment, I never talked that way to a boss ever, but he did invite me to. And it was a lesson for me. It was a reminder that it's the chair, it's not you. And I've dealt with situations where I've had big jobs, and then I lost the big job, and people stopped returning my calls. I got fired once. I'll tell you one quickie, and then I know you have a great follow-up.
Yeah.
I got fired once, and I was in my car driving home after packing my stuff, and I called up one of the producers I had been developing a project with, and I got him on the phone. Very hard guy to get on the phone, but I was in development on a project with him. And I said, how's it going? He says, great. He says, you calling about the project? I go, no, actually I'm not. I just want to let you know I just got let go, and I can't help you anymore on this, but I wish you luck with it. He says, oh, let me call you right back. And he hung up, and I've never heard from him to this day because I didn't have anything to offer him. Okay?
How do you interpret that?
Okay. Well, that's the way he is.
I think that's how a lot of people are.
A lot of people are. I've been...
what's in it for me? And navigating that is...
I don't know if I have, a blessing of some sort, but I've worked for many people who have been defined as difficult or tough, and not one of them has been that way to me, ever. I work for bosses who my friends would warn me, oh, you're not going to like it there. He's a killer.
Yeah.
He's nasty. Never have I experienced that. The toughest people in town have always found a sweet spot for me. And I'll tell you why. I'm going back to that word. It's my favorite word, passion.
Yeah.
They knew that I wasn't just doing a job, that I believed in it, I was committed to it, I was dedicated to it. It was my life, not just my job. And it's really hard, it's not impossible, but it's really hard to abuse people who care that much. It's happened to me, the guy who said, I don't like that you don't intimidate your staff. He had no problem getting rid of me. Mm-hmm. But it's really hard to fire somebody who believes so passionately about what they do.
Yeah. Do you think you were likable also?
Was I likable?
Yeah. Did you come off that way?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a goofball sometimes, and sometimes it's worked in my favor, and sometimes...
we want to know the secret sauce.
Well,
a lot of people are like, hey, I want to be able to do that.
It's authenticity.
It's authenticity, yes.
Look, if I'm a goofball and it hasn't always worked in my favor, sometimes it's hurt my corporate trajectory.
Yeah.
But that's who I am.
Yeah.
And never try to offend anyone. In today's world, you can offend someone much more easily, but I've never tried to offend anyone that I can remember. And, either they appreciate me or they don't appreciate me, but they can't knock me down. You just can't knock me down because I love this too much. And that's the passion that I hold dearly for what I do. So you can fire me. You can fire me from my dream job. It happened twice.
Okay.
But you can't kick me out of the business because I'm going to find my way back in. And I'm still 60 years after that day I went to Password doing what I love. It's been over 60 years. So,
wow.
Go for it. Wow. Try to knock me down. I'm going to get back up.
Oh, that attitude, you can conquer the world.